Hello and welcome back to Day 1, Week 1, OPL 2018, brought to you by Hungry Jacks. Order just picking up their first map victory in pretty resounding fashion in the end against Tectonic. But want to start off kind of where we left off with Swaith and Paparize. Is this a you just look to trade side kind of game and pick hard carry top lane and see what you can do? Or how would you attack this game?
I mean, you can kind of liken it to how Dire was played last season. King and Destiny got very good at losing bot lane, not because they were bad, but because their team played topside, and they just facilitated that so well. If you can get the same out of Low and Tilting here, if they can play a matchup that's very safe, like Civitarm Kench or Braum Callista or something like this, if they can get on that, and then you can split the map and play through topside. Paparize looked good into Tally, had the counter pick against GP, was doing well, but we said not well enough. If they could facilitate that further and then get him into a situation where he can go through there, I think that'd be really good.
But to be fair, I don't know if Paparize not doing well enough was Paparize's fault. I think it was the 600 assist goal that Gangplank had randomly picked up just ulting turrets throughout 100%. The early game. So we'll see whether they're able to swing that. Another player that we want to take a look at is Swiffer played Zoe in that game. Is this a ban Zoe? Is she annoying? Was it Zoe in the comp? Bottom lane looked pretty dominant. What do you take?
I think Zoe was definitely a problem. But in that game specifically, the bot lane was the largest, was the biggest factor for auto winning. They got that gank down there early, first blood, snowballed incredibly hard. But then Zoe in the mid lane, despite being down CS, seemed to still have pressure left, right, and center. Did get a free kill onto Swade in the jungle. Unlucky, like that probably won't happen again. But you can ban a Zoe, and that's it. Then you don't have to deal with that. But you can't ban out FBI and Rogue being really good, if that makes sense. So like, it's just harder to deal with, and I think it was a problem. It might not have won them the game, but it was definitely enough of a problem to consider banning, especially on blue side. Yeah.
My question for you, have they had enough experience against it? Are teams leaving Zoe up in solo queue especially? Because that's where you get your reps, right? You can only play 6 scrims a day. That's what most teams play. But you get as many solo queue hours as you want. Is it getting through enough, or do people just know what it does?
I mean, not sure. Traditionally in solo queue, champions that are just straight up busted, the pro players might be like, hey, leave Zoe up. But if you're not first pick on a team, player X or whatever is just going to be like, hell no, they have first pick, like I'm getting rid of it. You know what I mean? So potentially have not played against it enough there. They were happy to let it go through the draft in that stage. Or, sorry, Tectonic had the opportunity to just first rotation it on red side.
I think Swiffer only has 6 Zoe games in solo queue. Might have been the reason they let it through, which is why I asked. Because, I mean, plays across 2 accounts, 6 games. I'm sure he's played 50 or something like ridiculous. That's a pretty low number. Callista, Alistar, Tahm Kench taken away right now, and Shock gets the respect of a triple ban.
He does. Malzahar, Cassio and Azir coming out. First pick Shen, so they do opt in for another flex pick here. We did note the Karma could have gone top, but probably not. Shen, first pick here.
I like it because if they go hyper-aggressive bottom lane, then Shen can go top and try and help nullify that. But if they want to split the map the way we've talked about, then put low on Spellbook Sivir and just send Tilting into the top lane time and time again.
Yep, 100% on. Not the best matchup. Shen does pretty well, can push him in, and do they take the Braum here? That's the biggest thing for me. No. Okay, what Order's done right now, I will guarantee
gambling
you,
on the Shen support.
They're gambling on Tilting, not even the Shen support, but not playing Braum. Because we talked about, he's a mage support player, wants to play Karma, wants to play Sona. They're like, hey, this guy's not going to pick it. Like, we're going to get on, and we're going to get Braum as well, because Braum Ezreal, such a strong lane. You just flash forward as the Braum, land the Q. Ezreal can dash in, land the Qs, land the order. It's 100% proc.
There it is. So it's going to be a Shen top lane, Shen support, Gangplank top lane, and Kog'Maw gets picked, a champion that we've seen just rise and rise and rise in popularity.
Zoe's still up.
Yep, certainly is.
Is it a Zoe right now, or is it a Braum? I think it's one of the two. We will see 15 seconds left for Order to make their decision. Rogue talking to his teammates here.
How deep does Shock's champion pool go? That's the question, because if they take Braum right here, there will be mid lane bans abound. Zoe will be taken away from Tectonic, you have to assume. And then Order still have another 2 bans that they can just peg at Shock in the mid lane right now.
Will be interesting to see what they go for. So as we predicted, Braum Ezreal taking on Shen, Kog'Maw in the bottom lane. You have to think the Ezreal Braum have the more aggressive side of the matchup there, have more potential for early plays earlier into the game as we go on though. We did see Low play a lot of Kog'Maw towards the end of 2017 season.
Kog'Maw Karma Galio was kind of their specialty.
And they just played around him in the bot lane. They gave him Ardent Sensor. straight up, just tried to play through him. So back on that comfort pick, I would assume for him. As you said, mid lane ban's coming out.
I think there's going to be a Zoe ban, and I think there's going to be another mid lane ban.
Potentially the Vlad, potentially the Rise coming out. Those two we have seen today. Vlad was top though, but can be flexed in between the two.
Yeah, does Shock play Rise?
I think so.
You would have to assume so.
Yeah.
The difference between an okay Rise and a masterful Rise, however, is pretty large.
Definitely a high skill cap champion. There was that, in LCK, there was that play by Crown where he dodged 17 forms of CC and
Your boy.
potentially slightly lived their Vega.
Your boy.
Is the Azir counter pick, but obviously Swiffer already banned the Azir, and then they are banning the counter pick away from that, so they don't want to deal with that one. Shock must be playing a bit of Azir there. I mean, sorry, a bit of Veigar, because Order are having none of it. That's 5 mid lane bans.
That is 5. That is 6 mid lane bans.
6 with Zoe, but 5 from Order.
5 from Order.
They're just like, no. Like, Tally's got on. He'll be fine in the top matchup. I don't know. Spooks seemed to ride in the jungle, and they're like the last player left who are out CS Swiffer. They're like, no, you don't get any champions.
And they leave it up. They leave Rise available. Do they have a counter pick right now? Because we said there's 4 mid laners. Zoe, Malzahar, Azir, Rise. The next tier, we had Talia, Cassiopeia.
Yep, they're all banned.
And then we had Orianna in there as well. And then we kind of had Veigar in purple.
Okay,
and it's going to be the TikTok Shock.
He's bringing it back because the mid pool is running dry. Vlad, Victor are options, but we're definitely going down the tier list here. Vel'Koz, I'd like to see that. Let's go. Let's put Shen mid. Vel'Koz support.
TF would be very interesting right here. Matches the sidewave pressure. Of course, going... Oh!
Hey, what? Okay, what the hell?
Mid gangplank. Has to be.
Urgot.
Top.
Okay. Gangplank.
Mid.
And then Shen support. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, that took me a second.
I was about to say, you all right there?
Order are hovering the casting. Okay, I mean, maybe this is what Johnny meant when he said something spicy's coming. So Urgot. We'll see these trade around. It looks like an Urgot mid?
Urgot, nah, it's got to be... It can't be. Surely.
Maybe. Maybe it's their counter pick into Rise. Look, you've seen, out of all the mid laners, Rise is the best that's available, right? You have Malzahar, Cassio, Azir, Veigar, Ori, Zoe, Talia, all gone. But Rise is in that S tier of mid laners right now.
Yep.
Has been picked up, left open intentionally for Tectonic. They had so many opportunities to ban it. Order didn't pick the mid lane in the first rotation, so...
And you know what Swiffer's doing right now? He's going, FBI! What does Urgot do? And FBI say, dude, Urgot has not been a bottom lane champion.
He's saying that to Tally, because Tally is like a release champion. Something gets remade, a champion gets remade, Poppy, Urgot, whatever, he's spamming it. He's the spam new champions guy on your screen, and we do see Swiffer looks a bit worried. I'm not going to lie, I know him pretty well. He's not looking good. He's looking a bit unhappy and sway because he's chilling.
Yeah, of course he is. He's going to be able to play around in Urgot.
Okay, how does Urgot Sejuani 2v2 mid work?
I think that would be really strong. They're both quite tanky. They both have hard CC. The shotgun knees can never be underestimated in their pushing capability. And then the ultimate is ultimately the best ultimate in the game.
I think Rogue's
he's explaining it.
Chain.
He's actually explaining what it does.
How does Urgot ulti work? Why did I die that one time in solo queue from 50% HP? He's like, oh, you got chained.
The boys from Melbourne have been run through an absolute loop.
I have no idea. Oh my god, this has got to be fun. I'm keen. This is an Urgot mid, competitive level.
Archie played it a lot from GAM. Archie from GAM. So if they've watched that. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. So if they've watched that, they at least know what it's doing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they have a basic idea.
Chiefs didn't go to Rift Rivals last year, which was the team that Swiffer was a part of.
But it's not about the basics of the champion, obviously, at the competitive level. It's the nuance of how they lane, how the Urgot Rise matchup interacts with each other, because that's going to be the super interesting thing. Swiffer's just going to have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea either. Maybe a man that does have an idea will be Cyclone, who's standing alongside Laura.
Thanks, guys. I'm standing here with Cyclone. Now, you've got quite a few players from the OCS coming onto the team this year. How have you been mentally preparing them to play on the big stage?
We've just done a bit of talking about kind of the things that you can take away from playing a game, and I reminded them that it's just the same game. You know, there's no difference in the way that your champion functions. You know, once these guys start last hitting, they almost forget that there's cameras and stuff. And I share with them a piece of advice I got from a lecturer a long time ago, which is with exams, it's just an opportunity to show what you know. And I told them to treat this the same way.
Now, I want to talk about the mid lane. Auto threw 5 bans at it, and then you've pulled out the Urgot. What's going on?
So we suspect that the Auto mid-jungle duo might have queued into our mid laner earlier this morning, hence a couple of the bans. And yeah, we were really excited to bring the Urgot out because we've been practicing that for the Rise. And yeah, when we saw them each mid lane being piled on, we were like, this is it. This is the time. So
now, you're a Kiwi. You've got a team full of Kiwis. How has it been living in a house together and representing your home country?
I mean, we're all basically the same. Australia has some law that says we can become a state if we like, not that we will. So, no, they're all great guys, and they've really gelled well, and we're having a lot of fun, and we've had like barbecues, and we've got some board games and stuff, so it's good.
Nice to hear that you're all getting along together. Thank you so much for the interview, and best of luck with the game.
Cheers.
Barbecues, board games, and Urgot mid is the mantra of Tectonic as they do come into this game. Level 2 Shen
That
going
is a
in.
big taunt as well that will land. Does get some good damage down onto FBI. Will force him out of lane. Of course, double targets means that maybe not for all that long, but still a good chunk as Spooks runs into Swathe. Another good interrupt. Swathe is the master at interrupting jumps and has actually gone Aftershock. Talk to me about it.
So the schools of thought, Fleet Footwork versus Aftershock. The Fleet Footwork, obviously Precision Tree, helps your clear out a bit. Sejuani clears pretty low, and it helps you with speed. Hold that.
Yeah, exactly right. Looks like a 1v1 going to be there. You can see Urgot has the mid lane track from mid lane. Swiffer will get a little bit of damage down. Actually gets a lot of damage down in response, and Shock takes the bad end of that trade, especially given the fact that he's gone Doran's Blade. An item that we have not seen, I feel like, in
a long time.
A very long time.
Just shields. But back to Sejuani, right? The Aftershock obviously makes you significantly tankier in a team fight. Not going to help you out too much in terms of clear. That's just going to be base Sejuani clear. So Fleet Footwork helps you out early, gives you the sticking power to apply your 4-proc passive there, because it does give you the move speed when you whack someone. So that's the thought process there. Obviously, people with different opinions. Swathe opting in for the Aftershock this game, potentially as well. He figures top lane, they've got a GP, not very tanky, so wants to be extra tanky for that. They do have a Shen, so he's not solo tank here, but still does take it.
See Tally trying to bully Paprise around a little bit, but we've already seen this happen. Is that a minion dematerializer? Wasn't. All right.
No.
Ignore me. A minion just looked like it just burst into flames and disappeared. However...
No, it was from On.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what you saw. I looked at that and I thought it was a pop, but no, it absolutely is. Yeah. So that's another interesting thing.
Swiffer's in some trouble, however.
Big
damage going down. Will be slowed. Has to flash. Has to heal. Swathe was in there half a second too late. But Swiffer is sent home by TikTok Shock's big man in the mid lane. I don't even know. Is he a man?
He's half man.
Half
He's got robotic legs. Absolutely. And the big thing there is he blows both summoners. Swiffer healed and flashed away. So it's not like he flashes away and can TP back with that spellbook. And
Swiffer is being very greedy here against what is double summoner spells out of Shock. You can see he's just trying to pick up the wave. Spooks is waiting in the wings. They are gambling on an over-aggressive Shock.
They're trying to bait him in here. Swiffer's looking for the root, potentially Spooks on the flank and the bot side, but doesn't amount to a whole lot of anything. But Shock's just going to push this wave in again.
Doesn't amount to Spooks having to show on the map, however.
That's big.
Which is a pretty big deal. Not something you like out of your jungler, especially when your top lane is playing so far up and your bottom lane is also pushing quite aggressively right now. Shock does the right thing, holds that off the turret.
Yep, just means that the other lanes can do whatever they want under the turret with their advantages there. As Rogue was looking for a cheeky little engagement there, but don't get a whole lot of anything.
Nice Q landing, however, and that will be the stun proc. Good damage coming out of FBI. And you can see that the duo just is as comfortable as ever together. They're not ever overcommitting in this lane, but they're getting good poke down after a good early trade out of Tilting and Low.
But back on the previous point, we talked about minion dematerializer. Spooks looking for a flank here. I don't think he's going to go for it. There's no way he jumps.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
There's still the Shen taunt, the block coming through, dodge field. He'll be fine. They might look for a dive if they push this wave in and they do choose to stay.
Double TP is available, however. Actually, no, only single TP and game flank ultimate, but that's still a lot.
Nah.
They cannot do this.
Yeah, the misexecution there. FBI does draw the aggro, takes too much damage and had to E away. Not enough mana to continue the dive, so Spooks leaves. You saw him hop over the wall. But back to the previous point you brought up, Minion Dematerializer. That's one of those things that when Riot released Runes Reforged, everyone looked at the inspiration tree and was like, what the hell is all this? This sucks. This doesn't do anything. I'm just going to take biscuits, free boots. What do you mean? I can't get a kill and then roam somewhere with the boots I just purchased. A lot of people were like, wow, this is not good. But we have seen the
This is so many people in the bottom lane. You can see the big ram comes out. That will be the stopwatch used for low. They try and give the kill over to FBI. They succeed. And that will be TP used from Tally. And the first blood picked up for Order.
That is the TP used from Tally, but they only get 1 kill off it. They're not going to get too much damage on this turret. Just going to whack it away here. But the Order, bottom lane, Rogue and FBI are too low to stick around. So just a reset.
Just shows how much priority Order right now is putting in their bottom 2v2.
All the ganks are going that way. Tally's got nothing.
Yeah, Tally's got absolutely 0. They give up a big fat minion wave top lane as well, which I'm sure Tally would not be happy with. There's
Here we go.
Swiffer, 1v1. Swathe is there, but only level 5.
Does just proc 6 off the minions there, so didn't have that ulti available.
If he did, that was a dead Swiffer.
100%. No flash. Can't miss that one unless you're Xmithy. Sorry, Xmithy. I shouldn't have said that. That
I was about to say.
No, he's a good player. He just missed a few Sejuani ultis every now and again.
He's actually a great player.
He is. He's one of the best junglers in North America. Well, from America.
Yep.
I think. But
correct.
In saying that, Spooks level 4 just hit level 5. Swathe already level 6, as we just noted. So has been looking for these ganks, is so far down in jungle camps here. The 46 to 28 CS there.
Also the fact that
200
Kha'Zix doesn't necessarily clear all that quickly before he picks up a heck of a lot of AD. Swathe walks over a ward. We'll know that one is there now.
Now I do want to go back. Order are making this really hard. I want to talk about
really want to talk about it.
Real quick.
Just
it helps
do
you
it.
push, right? You kill a minion, you hit it on 3 range creeps, 3 melee creeps rather, and helps you push. You take it on champions that already have good shove. So Tally on the Ornn, of course, he was the one that took it this game, has the Bellows Breath, I believe it's called, to AoE down the wave. Lots of AoE there, so you see it on the likes of that, on the likes of Siva, Ryze, Vlad as well. Gives them a bit of extra pushing power so they can roam off and do other things around the map.
Yeah, big engage coming out of Tally, and this is Ornn's specialty. Not only is it a tank with great engage, is a little bit of a lane bully. However, leaving the lane means that Papyrus has got a level advantage. Will be able to return fire.
Ornn's specialty just netted in a Q in the head, and he lost the trade, so unlucky for Tally there. As you say, yeah, that gank in the bot lane, all they got was 1 kill and no turret damage, so you can't think that's
Oh, they go in, flash forward, they layer the CC, even though Swiffer had flash, not able to use it, gets the chain out, and Shock eats him. Urgot is a very fun champion.
Urgot mid. He's up 20 CS in this matchup against the Ryze, intentionally picked it here. Just got the kill. Swiffer 0-1, does have TP to come back, but Spooks is just going to catch the wave anyway.
Certainly is, and you can see Tally again goes for a little bit of a trade up in the top side. Papyrus doing a good job farming here. He's only down 10 CS. We've already mentioned so much of Gameplaying's kit today is just built towards good farming.
Jake, this is an Urgot mid. I'm just shocked. This is fun. I love this. Look at him go. He's a machine.
I want to be excited, but I kind of still don't know what he does. He just like picked him up, pile driving him over the head, shot him with his knees a few times, and then ate him.
Well, I mean, honestly, the other big thing is he would be especially good into Ornn. Urgot is actually quite good at tanks because the execute on his ultimate is based on percentage HP.
Yep.
So Ornn is just going to get a ridiculous amount of health in a team fight, going to be so tanky. And getting him down from that threshold is so hard, especially with the shields. But
it is also deceptively long range. That is one thing I can say.
Yeah.
I have run away from many Urgot and still been hit by it.
Absolutely. So much outplay potential if they do get a free
They're
pick
looking
in a
for the
team
dive
fight.
again. Teleport coming in from Swiffer. Teleport coming in from Tally. This is everyone down in the bottom lane, and we'll see whether it gets more than 1 kill this time. Shen ulti is coming across. There's a big ram. That is the layering of the CC from the Braum ulti. And they're also now looking for Swathe. However, they are quite low. And Urgot is coming into the bottom lane. You got a body block. Where's the chains? Where's the chains?
He's going to be looking for the snipe, but Order aren't going to give it to him. I'm interested. That's a double TP committal to the bot lane. Gets himself 2 kills and the turret. You'd have to think.
Ooh.
Do they get the Infernal Drake as well? Do they go for that one?
I don't think they do. I think they are way too low, and they have just left GP alone in the top lane. That means that he is going to have a big creep score advantage as well as some extra damage on this turret. He might even pick it up, to be brutally honest. I don't know if anyone can get up there in time. And Order, they're overcommitting for this bottom lane. Sure, this time they do pick up a 2,000 gold lead because of it, but it actually looks like Tectonic will pick themselves up the Infernal Drake. And that is not the worst trade.
That is honestly not the worst trade. They do lose first brick, but Gangplank, all today, I think this is the third game we've seen him now, just hasn't been punished enough in the early game that we would like to see from any of these teams.
I mean, to be
Chiefs,
fair, Tally
and,
is 1-0-2 and just got first turret advantage, so he's pretty well.
I mean, he has done a lot, but in the 1v1 specifically, Gangplank's just chilling. He's even in gold, even up ahead in gold actually with the Klepto, got a bit of CS. Whereas Tally have the kills and assists and the first turret gold obviously, but just not enough.
Yeah, and they're just sending their bottom lane back bottom. They bounced the wave this time. Tectonic obviously felt that there was going to be a rotation to the top side of the map because they pushed it out as quickly as they can. And now they're just being zoned off that creep wave. However, collapse now into the mid lane as Shock. The Ram will come down again, this time looking for the knock up onto the Urgot. However, Spooks will get hit and it's not low enough health. It will eventually expire and no chain will come out.
He was close. He was close. Spooks almost goes down there, but a sliver of HP above the threshold keeps him alive as they are looking to invade on this red buff.
Tally's just not going back top. Tally's decided that he is a jungler now. Swaith does get tagged up here, might actually fall down. Looking for the headbutt there, was nice. Ignited as well. Does use the Zhonya's to dodge out.
Early Q out of FBI, but would not have taken him down anyway. But this just seems to be a problem getting worse in the top lane for Order. They don't have an answer right now. They are gaining advantages on the bottom side, but it seems like a bit of an overcommit every time they do it.
Yeah, it just looks like they keep reaching. They keep reaching. They don't really know what to do against this funky mid lane pick, although he needs to be careful. Shock actually buffers out the dash. Gets out of range. Spooks looking for him, however. Yeah, I think Swaith was where, and he saw he was not isolated. Instead, takes the high percentage play of the turret.
If it was E-Evolved Kha'Zix, potentially could have jumped in, jumped out, but of course, we'll have the ulti.
I just don't know if he kills it. Urgot is a surprisingly tanky man.
That would have been isolation damage, and he also has the stopwatch as well.
I don't think he was isolated, though. I think Swaith was close enough to him.
Okay. Up for debate. Obviously, we're on different sides of the coin here. And here we go. Match up again. 1v1. Swift is getting owned. See ya. He's gone for the ulti, but where's his face? He's smiling. He's smiling. I was like, wait for his camera.
He didn't know what button his stopwatch was on.
He has stopwatch. Okay.
That's why he's smiling. He's like, I have stopwatch somewhere. I just can't find it.
I thought so. I thought
I swear it's in my pocket somewhere, he says. I left it in my other set of jeans.
Don't want to lose Grandpa's stopwatch. That's an heirloom, and Swiffer obviously has. Unfortunate for him.
2 deaths.
Yep.
2 against the Urgot. Chains coming out.
2-0-0.
As Spooks is in a little bit of trouble here. Has been taunted up. Dodge zone down. And that will be the Kha'Zix being splattered. Nowhere. Good flash out. And the Ram comes out. Looking to zone. Actually looking to pick up a kill here. GP now here as well. Dashes forward. Swiffer must have teleported and flashed on someone's head. Tilting goes back in. Another good taunt. And that is going to be Spooks getting eaten. Chuck on the back end of the play. Gets another kill. He's now 3-0. But he will be tagged up and stunned. He's an absolute monster right now. He's looking to clean up. He does not die. He is so damn tanky. He is flashing forward. That is a triple kill for Shock. Make it a quadra kill if he's able to pick this one up. Rogue will flash over the wall and survive. But Shock is just doing strange things on Urgot and it looks bloody good.
Oh my god. Denies him the quadra kill there. Rogue flashes over the wall. I want the replay. I want to see exactly what happened. Swiffer came in with a teleport there, got himself a kill, but Swaith on the back lines, hooked in Spooks, gets the execute, sitting at 5-0-0. He's going to have so much gold right now. He's pushing in the wave. As here we see the engage. Onto Spooks on the left-hand side, gets so low. The ulti just misses. And Shock is coming from the top side, so he's not here yet. Swiffer TP's behind. Gets the pickup onto low there. Tilting, trying to keep Paprise alive, but they just don't know where Shock is, and he comes in. Cheeky execute. The front line is still available in Swaith. He's just tanking them up, and he's just whacking him. He's just whacking him. Doesn't take damage. Got the Black Cleaver and the Tabby there.
The big thing there is they're like, we can get the stun and blow him up.
Yeah.
And they just don't know how tanky it is. As you said, the nuances are all missing here with the Urgot pick. He's got a Black Cleaver, but apparently he can just tank 3 people.
Yep.
And gets himself, what, a cheeky triple?
Cheeky triple. Almost a quadra. Should have been. As he's now sitting 5-0-0.
He's going Sterix as well. Can he go Death Stance?
Sure.
Is Urgot a Death Stance player?
I'm not sure. I didn't want to answer the question because I don't know, but we'll see. We'll find out. We did see, I think, in Rift Rivals ages ago, the Triforce Urgot coming out of Archie the top lane, I believe.
Yep.
But he's getting a little bit of a gank to himself in the mid lane here. Spooks is on. Can they land the Q? They do.
Execute goes down, and that is going to be him dying. However, FBI now in big trouble. They do try and turn this one around. Teleport coming out. That must be Tally, and the Ram will follow surely. There it goes. The slow goes across. The knock-up hits Swathe. In comes Rise with the Rift Walk. They will look to continue the CC, and that will be a 2-for-0 trade. Paparized also being chased out now, and Order return fire there. A little bit of overzealous play from Shock. He thought he was immortal. I thought he was too, to be fair.
Yeah, we're sitting here singing his praises, but when you're in a 1v3, there's not a whole lot you can do when you're CC'd by the Brawn there, so they do pick up that kill. Order are looking for more, but they just don't quite have the wave yet. I think they will retreat off back to the side lanes, catch those waves, play it slow, take the picks, and get a bit of a reset going, as they do have a 3,000 gold lead. Yeah,
we see a Roller Rise coming out this time around. To be fair, not much magic damage on the side of Tectonic. I mean, Kog'Maw does a little bit, especially with Rage Blade.
Yep.
You see right now that Sejuani will do a little bit as well, but the rest of the lineup is just going to be AD.
Also, the passive would be lost on the lineup of Order. They don't do a whole lot of magic damage. They don't have a Sage. They have a Kha'Zix.
Yep.
On base damages a little bit, but not too much, as we do see the gold.
This is why they replaced me with you. And then, luckily for me, Fish fled the country and I got his job.
3,000 gold lead for FBI. That is a big lead, but it's all on the Ezreal there. Everywhere else is fairly even. Swiffer a little bit far behind. Sorry, a little bit behind, but
he's also got 2,000 gold. So really, Swiffer right now is 3,000 gold behind as well.
Yep.
Because he's just sitting on 2,300 gold for some reason.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, basically the entire gold lead of Order is just on FBI here, on the Ezreal. And that's not going to do a whole lot, honestly, until he picks up his next item, because he's gone pretty defensive. He doesn't do a ton of damage. He's just obnoxious to deal with. He applies the slow with Frozen Fist. Muramana has procced there, so a little bit of damage, but then obviously he has picked up the QSS for the safety.
Swiffer gets himself a Zhonya's as well, so a very defensive Order lineup coming out here.
Because they don't know what to do against Urgot. They don't know what he does.
One thing I do want to say, however, about Ezreal is Imp and Deft, the Samsung carries, back a long time ago, said that Ezreal is actually the best hyper carry in the game. Their logic for it was he doesn't die.
Yeah.
So he does infinitely more damage than any other AD carry because you cannot kill him.
Yep, Engage coming out.
Big Engage, actually. That's a 3-man on ulti, and Paparized in a little bit of trouble. Low, however, is on the back end of the team fight. He tears through Tally, but they're just lining up right now for the rest of the Chiefs members. Shock will come in. Rogue might have to put up the door here. They continue to chase through, and they shoot the harpoon in. Will he be able to get it? Will he eat him? No, he's just gone in a little bit too early. He's still alive, though. He will not die, and in the end, Tectonic back away. They win the fight. Order now looking to potentially go for a re-engage. Flash forward, that will be low falling down, but still, that is a one-team fight right now. They continue to chase forward. Paparized potentially out here. However, Swathe might not be. Split focus from Order, however, and they still win the team fight there for Tectonic.
And that's exactly what you were talking about. They're looking for more, but TP coming out, going to keep them away.
I mean, Swiffer might be dead here. They're going for the play. This is absolutely massive. The commit is there, and they get all of the members in. FBI turns around, tries to save his mid laner, and might ultimately fall for it as well. You can see Swathe, no ultimate, cannot continue that chase. But in the end, what is that? A 4 for 2?
But is that worth on the end of that? Burning the Shen ulti and the TP as well, as we do get another look at this engage. Ornn ulti hits 4 people. Swiffer coming in from the side, and the biggest member of the Tectonic lineup here, Shock, is not around yet. Tally, as you said, gets eaten. Absolutely very quickly as the hard tank, but Rogue falls down eventually here, but this is the Ezreal best hyper carry in the game that you're talking about. Swiffer and FBI 2v4, I think 2v3 at the end of this, are able to pick up another kill here. They do flash forward with the root, but FBI is just so safe. As long as they can't get onto him, he can do whatever he wants here. He can chase, he has the slows, he has the damage, so...
And that was a little bit of a bummer for Low because he didn't pop the plant. He didn't want to step on it. He just had no other way he could run. And the slow is ultimately what allowed Swiffer to catch up to him and go for that flash. Rune Prison. You can see right now on the side of Tectonic, Merc Tread's Frozen Mallet is the build. It actually wasn't a Sterex. So
Frozen
for
Mallet.
all those Urgot players at home, if you want to do it the way that Shock is right now, which is pretty damn well, Frozen Mallet is a pickup.
Yeah. Interesting, as both teams sort of have their one-threat wonder right now. 6-1,
Swiffer again. Swiffer's like, I'm not farming this way.
This is the juggle. They're going to put Shock against Swiffer. Swiffer's going to be like, hell no. Walk away. As actually, he's looking for something. Spooks isn't around, so he just backs off.
Yeah, actually, the top side of the map is completely owned from...
Does he get the mallet proc?
I don't know.
Oh, doesn't. He could not get the mallet proc there, so can't slow him down. Swift does have the Zhonya's available, so can Realm Walk Zhonya's combo, get himself out if he wishes, but that's a big commit.
Certainly is. And you can see right now, Tally is kind of getting bullied around on the Ornn. This is another example of where GP has just hit 2 items and is looking to take over the game. You can see that Spooks heading down towards that bottom lane. Potentially, that is the play they are looking for. Although Baron is up and available, so if it goes wrong, it'll go wrong in a big way. Ornn ultimate comes out, however. Spooks does a lot of damage. They use the Shen ulti. They use the Gangplank ulti. And the cancel is there, so now all of a sudden he's in big trouble. Though Swaith is heading down, and I don't think they can kill Paparize in time because Spooks, for some reason, backed away. He's going to come out of the stopwatch, flashes forward, picks up the kill, but now Swaith will continue the chase, and Tilting is here. Tally will get flash taunted. Very nice mechanics, although the duo from Order now looking for it. Realm Walk coming in. These fights go forever, and that will be the route onto Tilting, and potentially another kill picked up. Another good dash away, however, the stun will follow through. Swaith will get slowed as well, will be forced to flash. FBI is tanking the turret, so Order cannot continue.
And that wasn't the Shen ulti like we thought it was. The Sterax proccing there, so he could not get down, but Shock the entire time just has been pushing in the top wave. In Order, they do win up the fight. They do pick up a couple of kills there, but they just can't get any objectives off that. Can they get this in a turret? They just can't get advantage.
I mean, they're winning fights, but they're not getting an advantage, which is the only reason to fight in League of Legends. You can see they're just eating the creep waves every single time after the lost team fight, and Swiffer potentially is on a ward. Teleport coming in as well. They're going to hard engage
Shen
onto this
now.
one more time. Shen ulti, although Swaith bit off a little bit more than he can chew. But ultimately, this is a 5v3. Tilting goes in. Tally's actually here, so 5v4. And have they split too much? One member dead means they can potentially just turn around onto Paparize, try and stun up that Braum passive. They get it. Eats oranges in K, but the flash forward. Spooks arrives, and that will be a double kill for the mid laner of Order. And this game, on a knife's edge, might have just tipped over.
And somehow Order win 2 back-to-back team fights without basing in the bottom lane. Spooks wasn't even there, but Shock had recall, didn't have access to the TP.
Let's look at the gold. Let's raise that point right now, because I have a gut feeling that FBI is sitting on an absolute truckload of gold right now. And even though they're up by, you know, nearly 3,000, that doesn't mean anything if you haven't spent it.
Does just spend it on the Bork there, as Tectonic are just pushing in the mid wave. Does complete that one, still has the QSS available, so fairly safe. As we look at the other side of this, I would like to issue a formal apology to OSoloQ.
Don't apologize for that. That's one of those tweets where you're being a bit tongue-in-cheek. If you have a mid laner that locks in Urgot and he does this, you don't blame him for the game.
Yeah.
You honor that man.
You do. You absolutely do. As we do see the gold now. He has spent it, but around a 4K lead, as this is another 1v1.
Certainly is. Swiffer actually gets away, whiffs the ult, as you said. Now Spooks, the shadow is going to be there. Swaith, however, also going to be there, and that will be Spooks falling down. GP Ultimate does so much damage. They continue this fight, but Swaith is just so tanky. See if they can pick him up. You see that FBI is arriving on the back end. Was that a flash forward? No, that was just the Arcane Shift. Ez ulti as well, and that's another kill picked up for Swiffer. Ornn ulti will continue this fight from maximum range, and Tilting potentially going to fall down. No, they just changed their efforts towards Swaith. They know they can get Tilting later, and that might just be the Baron.
It just ends up being a 5v3. No Cogmore. The GP ulti was highly relevant, did a ton of damage to Spooks, takes him out, but he just doesn't have the TP to arrive. 5v3, and this seems like Order. They're just slowly winning these fights over the course of the game, and they weren't getting anything initially, but now the knife's edge has been tipped over. They get themselves a Baron. That's a big swing. They do have about a 5k gold lead now over Tectonic.
And this is, again, another time that we've seen a hard reset come out of Order. Obviously, they talked about that fight in the bottom lane where they didn't reset at all, and they said...
They won. They won too.
But it was dicey, right? They said, guys, we can't do that anymore. We need to respect this team, and if anything, Tectonic for weeks to come has guaranteed respect, at least in the draft phase. And Order are giving them their dues right now.
Tectonic, going to be rough holding this one here. They don't have the Braum to stop the Ram coming through from Tally, so once Order do group up on a turret, it will be very difficult to stop their engage, and they do have a lot of poke coming out. The Ezreal so obnoxious, especially with the Baron and the slows he provides. So accelerated. 7, 1, and 8 here for FBI as Paparize might be
Paparize. Yeah, he's got a GA, he's got himself a Sterax. He will take a while to die, but die he will. See whether they can look to save him. They're not. They're not burning any resources this time. Two
There's
and a
no
half
way.
seconds, boys.
Yep,
2.5 seconds for you to come out of it.
Absolutely no way they're going to keep him alive. They do get a bit of a push on the mid lane to try and gain something, but this will be the hard commit out of order on the bottom lane. They still have all their ultimates. They still have everything available. Can they get this inhib turret? I suspect they can.
Here they
Here it
go. The
goes.
ram is going to be launched, and this time it is straight at the mid laner. They don't want him to have anything to do with the fight, and they just brute force them away. Root will come out of Swiffer, and you can see Rogue diving forward, but ultimately I think they'll just settle for the inhibitor and back away.
Do they go towards a mid lane? They still have Baron. Can they get more off this push? Gangplank available in 5 seconds coming up. They might look for the inner turret there, but potentially GP ulti is available. They do have the capacity to clear these waves, so potentially a fight breaking out here again. But it is pretty low.
Yeah, certainly could be the case. We'll see whether they go for it. I feel without Flash, without GA, you just don't risk it at this stage of the game. Probably Order not going to look to stick around after that one. Maybe look for top lane, but most likely just go for another hard reset. And I mean, Tectonic, they still have the scaling in their comp. I mean, I honestly don't know whether Urgot falls off or not, so I'm going to be the first one to discard him. However,
I feel like
Gangplank, Sejuani, as well as Shen and Kog'Maw do their job late game very well.
I mean, even if he doesn't scale in terms of damage, he still has a percentage health execute, which is just so relevant against a tanky comp like Braum and Ornn. So even if he doesn't do a whole lot of damage, if we get this game to 60 minutes, he'll still be executing people when they're sitting at like 1k HP. So that's still highly relevant, I think. And as you said, this lead as the game goes on over FBI onto low will just become less and less. We see it bringed up on your screens right now. 4k gold lead for him there. 1, 4, and 4. Kind of a rough game for low so far, but if he does get those items, Kog'Maw, late game monster.
And FBI was a good 80 carry last split. Like, don't get me wrong, very good 80 carry. But was kind of overshadowed by Lost and Raze, I think, are the two that you would have to say. Was kind of talked about in the conversation, but everyone, you were either a Lost fan or a Raze fan, I feel, last split. This split, however, if FBI continues to perform, could be a real big breakout split, because he's only a second-year player. I think a lot of people forget about that.
Absolutely agree with you there. As Order using the last of their Baron to take down that turret. Nothing too much else available for them. They do have the bot inhib, so they don't wish to break the base. We do see Rogue has picked up the extra stacks on his Aegis. Of course, Ornn passive allows your teammates to buy the...
I've never seen anyone actually upgrade until they have completed items.
Yeah. It's because it's not gold efficient, I believe.
No, it's slot efficient.
Yeah, absolutely. So he still has 2 slots available, so interesting choice. Potentially could afford the upgrade, but couldn't afford another item, so just went for it anyway whilst he had the gold. This game looks to be, from Order's perspective, you'd like to think that they could end it pretty quickly.
Realm Morph coming in, no minions going to be going, but they are going top, as you called. Defense of the red buff might just cost them another base turret here for Tectonic. Although Shock's dashing in. Looking to get the Shen ulti as well. They fly in, they get the ultimate onto Ornn. That's a lot of damage used, but it lands. And as you said, percentage health damage execute means that he falls down. Swiffer now in big trouble, does flash over the wall. However, Rogue and FBI, they've done the do-si-do. They're in their base, and all of a sudden Shock is like, why are you behind me? I'm just going to try and take you out, fellas. He is still very tanky, but they're being corralled. It will be tilting, quite possibly falling down first. Paprise looking to follow here. Order want to be able to close out this game cleanly. Low steps forward and will be made pay. Actually won't fall down, so we'll be able to survive. No, flashing forward is FBI. However, a little bit greedy. He's looking to be taken down. Shut down will come through for Shock. He'll also fall. And Swiffer and Rogue now, they just have to get out of here, although I don't know if they can. Paprise continues to run forward. Swiffer, nice combo there on the rise. Will get a shield, but will not be able to pick that up. And that will be an ace for Tectonic at 30 minutes.
And that fight, you know what that was, Jake? That was the Dogs of Order herding the sheep from New Zealand of Tectonic into the side of their base there. FBI and Rogue found themselves behind the entire Tectonic lineup. They do get a bunch of kills, but once again, they dive the Nexus. They all die. They didn't even get the inhib.
I would like to stick up for New Zealanders everywhere by letting you know that Australia has more sheep than New Zealand does.
But still. But still.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Anyway.
Yep.
I mean, like,
but we invented Pavlova.
Okay, yeah. You've got the microphone, so nobody can
New Zealanders everywhere have just turned off the stream. It's disgust.
As back to the game, Dragon spawning in 20 seconds here. Baron, another one up in a minute, so potentially another bunch of teamfights coming out. Shock, it seems, is falling off. He's not doing a whole lot of damage in these team fights. He is frontlining, got burnt.
No, he just did like literally 20% of Ornn's health. Which
yeah,
is
I mean, he does execute. That's what he did. He executed Tally immediately. Tally got the engage off, but then nothing else really. Tried to get away, but sniped away by that ultimate there. Rogue face check in the bush. Does he die? Yeah,
it certainly looks to be the case. Ornn throws out the ram one more time. It's going to be a split team fight, however. Shock is on the front line and he's just getting CC continually. On the back line, Tally is massive and able to get a 3-man knock-up. They continue the chase forward. Tally will die to a very nice passive out of Mr. Low. However, that's not really what you want out of your late game AD carry. Realm Warp comes in. That will be tilting picked up. And you have to think with the base open and only 2 members alive, this should be Order looking to push for victory.
They do have a wave in the base, and it's a super creep as well. So they do have something to tank the Nexus turrets. Catching the wave like Swathe is doing right now will do nothing because the wave's already in.
Ooh, big barrel actually hits, and that's onto FBI and Spooks.
But the minion, still healthy.
Yeah, still a very healthy super crease. And that will be Swathe diving in, falling down, tries to do the team thing. They have to live for another 5 seconds, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Order is on the Nexus, and Order is looking to pick up their first 2-0 of the season. It wasn't easy in the end. Tectonic made them work for it, but they do pick it up.
The Braum auto with the Rise finally net them the win there. The resets, the respawns were coming out of Tectonic. Kog'Maw was alive, but that was an interesting game. Swiffer has got a big smile on his face.
If nothing else, that was very entertaining.
Absolutely.
I love to see new picks, and I love to see them work. So hats off to Shock, hats off to Cyclone. On a different day, that counter pick alone wins you a match.
I mean, that counter pick worked, straight up.
Yep.
It didn't win them the game, but it absolutely worked. Against the Rise, very good matchup, apparently. They got the early kills there. 2 kills onto Swiffer in the laning phase, and in the side lane, he just could not match him. One of the strengths of Rise, obviously, is the fact that he can side lane so well, has the mobility to get around, has the wave clear.
And the Realm Warp was actually instrumental. I mean, a couple of fights, the Realm Warp really did secure them a couple of extra kills, got them that top lane turret as well within the base. Tectonic looks shattered, and they probably should, because that was a very competitive game that looked like the majority they would take.
Yep, unfortunately, Game 1 to 2, the bot lane did falter once again, and that's where Chiefs did look to... sorry, Chiefs, I've done it again. Order. My apologies. Order do look to punish.
That's all right. We're 1-1, I think. I think we're 2-1, but you're denying the first one ever happened. I'm saying 2-1. You can say 1-1. But all-important 3 points. We haven't spoken about it yet, but in the OPL, every game matters. If you get the 2-0, you do pick up that extra bonus point. So Order after the back end of that, even though Direwolves picked up a 2-1 victory over the Chiefs, will be sitting top of the table for now. I mean...
Only one day?
Yeah, one day. But you see the players come in, shake hands, and now there's some grins on the face of Tectonic. This is a team that I will be tracking with keen interest now.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely room for improvement here, but definitely a lot of promise coming out of the man in the middle. You see smiling there, Shock. Yeah. Great performance both games, I think. Game 1, CS lead on Swiffer. Game 2, styling on Swiffer.
I always say that you only need to be able to play 3 champions, really. And then the Order guys...
I disagree with that.
No, like to a very high level to challenge. And then the Order guys throw 5 bans at him. Yeah, and a Zoe ban was there. And he still is able to play a champion like that to such a high level. Because most of the time, when you hit a champion pool that hard, what people don't realize is you're also hitting your champion pool. The fact that Swiffer... an Order banned 5 mid laners also means he can't play 5 mid laners, and I'm sure he would like to as well.
But the big thing was that it was a specifically crafted counter pick. They did leave one of the ST picks up Rise, knowing that they had attacked that pool so much. There was just so much depth gone, but they left one of the S-tier picks available. You know Swiffer's going to pick it. You know he wants to pick up that Rise, and they just baited him into that pick. Urgot comes out, gets them a couple of lane kills there. Very successful. I think he ended the game something like 9-2, 9-1. Instrumental to the pressure that Tectonic had over that match.
Yeah, it certainly was, but in the end it is going to be Order picking up a 2-0, and Laura is standing by with the victorious jungler Spooks to have a chat.
Thanks, guys. I'm standing here with Spooks. Congratulations on starting the split with a 2-0 win over Tectonic. What did you think of the team's performance today, and also of Tectonic's performance, especially in that second game?
Yeah, I think... I'd say mediocre performance from us. We weren't as clean as we would have liked to have been. But obviously Tectonic, made us fight for that second game, and props to them for the little Urgot pick, which obviously caught me off guard a couple of times. But yeah, no, it was a fun series overall.
Now you've joined Order after leaving a team where you've made so many accomplishments and history. How is it for you personally, moving to a new city, into a new house with new teammates?
Well, I guess for me, it's like I'm moving back home to Melbourne. But no, it's really exciting. I guess a breath of fresh air. I think, on the Chiefs, we were together for so long, and at some point it starts to get a little bit stale. But yeah, for now, it's really exciting for me.
There's been all of this talk about Order being the new super team on the squad. What are your thoughts on these expectations, and where do you personally think you stand on the leaderboard?
I guess, for us, we already place a lot of expectations on ourselves. We try not to think too much about what everyone else is saying. But, at this stage, definitely top 3, we feel like we are, but we feel like we have a lot more room to grow than maybe some of the other teams do. So, yeah, we're definitely aiming for number 1, obviously.
Well, congratulations again on today's win, and thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Interesting there from Spooks, saying they don't really, think about other teams all that much. They're just trying to take stock in themselves. Is that something that has been the case in the past for Spooks, or is
absolutely. I think that was something he was interviewed multiple times on Chiefs, and saying like, yeah, we obviously Chiefs being heavy favourites for many years coming in. It's very easy to be complacent, I guess. And the most interesting thing for me in that interview is when Spooks called Shock the little Urgot pick, because I don't think he was the little Urgot pick.
I think he was pretty big.
I think he was the little Urgot that could, to be honest. He was doing a lot of work there, but yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and off the back end of that, let's talk about Tectonic for a moment, because I think Swaith looked good in both games. Paprise looked pretty good in both games as well. If you are Cyclone for a second, put your coaching hat on. What are you pointing out, and what are you taking the wins away from that game, but what are you pushing your team towards for next week?
Well, I mean, I think we've touched on it multiple times, but it is the bot lane there. Low returning player from 2017, so they obviously have a lot of faith in him coming into this 2018 season. Joining with Tilting, not an old duo sort of thing coming in. They are pretty fresh, so maybe just put it down to FBI and Rogue being an incredibly good bot lane, and then it's kind of a hard task to come into your first game of the season facing off against them. So potentially chalk it down to first game sort of thing, but they do have room to grow, and they need to improve moving on to the rest of the season.
And on the flip side, so much hype over Order. I mean, people keep throwing it around. I mean, it will become a meme if we keep saying enough, the super team thing. But did they live up to expectation? Are you glass half full or glass half empty on them at the moment?
I mean, it was a good game. They did have a mega curveball thrown at them. We mentioned the Urgot so many times, but Spook said it best, I guess. It was a bit up and down. They did have moments of brilliance, but then they did just dive the Nexus and kind of mess around a little bit. So there's definitely a lot to work on for them. And I think, definitely a lot to improve on. Yeah,
definitely things that both teams can take away from. I don't think either of them will be too upset about that. However, it is Order picking up the 2-0 victory. Let's throw it back to Laura and Carbon for the last time tonight.
Thanks, Jake. Yes, we're back one last time, and oh my gosh, Urgot. Everyone was surprised by it, and I think Cyclone came out with a bit of a gem here. But talk me through it. What did that pick bring to the team?
I think it's a pretty good matchup into Ryze. Ryze is like a pretty short-range mage. Needs to get up in your face with EW. Urgot really good in the short range. He's got the machine gun knees. Gets the shield. Slow on his Q. He's got the flip as well. So if Ryze walks forwards to root you, you can buffer the flip and flip him as he roots, and so you're still doing damage despite being CC'd. I think it was just it's just one of those things where the enemy just has no idea really what you do, and they're surprised by your damage output. They're not entirely sure of your trading patterns, and stuff like that can really get to a pro player, because you have like a really solid idea in your mind of like how you're going to play Ryze, and like what you do when you play Ryze, and then when someone throws a stick into your spokes, it can be quite difficult to deal with on the fly.
I think that confusion definitely helped Tectonic in their favour.
Yeah,
even Spawn was saying that he doesn't know what Urgot does, so there you go. But he had that amazing fight. True.
Swiffer did.
He had that amazing fight in the mid lane, though, where he picked up a triple. Talk me through what happened there.
Yeah, he got the beautiful... well, Spook's very lucky to survive here, by the way. Great flash, I suppose, but Swaith should have predicted the camo. Ornalt... I mean, they're reaching a bit here. They're really trying to get onto low. Nice TP in from Swiffer. But what we'll see is Urgot will come around the back. He'll hit the hook onto Kha'Zix. You can see at the top of your screen. And then he's just going to clean up. I mean, these guys are already low. Urgot is so tanky. He really thrives in this sort of environment where most of the damage is already gone. And he has so much sustained damage and so much like innate tankiness. He does A-move a creep here. He does it twice, actually. You see it do it twice. And I think Rogue might have died. if he hadn't done that, and he might have picked up the Quadra. But that aside, Urgot coming up huge in that team fight. I mean, yeah, shouts out to Cyclone and to Shock, because I don't think anyone knew he played it. Jake said 5 mid bands, and they missed this one. So.
Well, Cyclone sent out a cheeky tweet saying, "I apologise to everyone that comes across Urgot in solo queue." Do you have any advice for anyone that might be going up against Urgot in solo queue?
Look, I hate, like, personally, like, I always struggle. I always get destroyed by Urgot. I don't really know how he works. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? Like, when I lane verse it, I still always end up getting a wreck. So. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I just don't get hit by the knees, I guess.
Is he one of those champions that like instantly tilts you when you have to go up against him?
I don't know. Like, depends what I'm playing. Like, when I'm playing jungle, it's okay because I can sort of pretend he doesn't exist. But if I'm playing top lane, then yeah, no, I hate it.
Well, I think he had an amazing performance. Thank you so much for joining us today, Carvin. It's been a pleasure having you on.
My pleasure.
But to close out the day, we're going to hand it back over to Jake and Bryce.
That Urgot ult is literally like a scene out of a horror movie. You're like, oh, don't worry, guys, I'm just bringing up the rear. And then, what?
I actually think that's one of the coolest things in the game. Even being the recipient of that, the chains coming across is semi-satisfying. Like, you're going to die, but you know you're really going to die.
Yeah, that is like the ultimate execute. However, that does round out the day's play. As we bring up the schedule onto your screen, it was the Direwolves winning the grand final rematch, even without leader Schönfire on the squad. And then Order was able to pick up, in the end, very hard fought 2-0 versus Tectonic. Tomorrow, however, 1:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time, it is going to be Sim Gaming taking on Legacy before the Bombers take to the Rift against Avant Gaming. As an avid Essendon Football Club fan, I cannot wait to see the Bombers take off. It is going to be very exciting.
The Bombers take off. I like that.
Yeah, I've used it like 3 times today, just different flying metaphors. However, that is all we have for you today. On behalf of everyone on the production team, myself, Bryce, Laura, and Carvin, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Swirl inside my head through static nerves that don't connect. If this grey matter is all we get.
Steal here. Will go in, and he gets it, and gets out. That is an absolutely godlike play out of Fabir. Whippy is here, however, maybe Paparazzi has gone too far. Will get popped there into the passive, and Tally picks up a kill. Tilting in big trouble now. The fight is kind of everywhere. Trouble Gobble comes out. Tally grabs himself a double kill. Top grabs himself a double kill somehow on the back end. Gen ulti is coming across. There's the big ram. That is the layering of the CC from the Braum ulti. They're also now looking for Swathe. However, they are quite low. He's an absolute monster right now. He's looking to clean up. He does not die. He is so damn tanky. He's flashing forward. That is a triple kill for Shock. Make it a quadra kill if he's able to pick this one up. Rogue will flash over the wall. Shock will come in. Rogue might have to put up the door here. They continue to chase through, and they shoot the harpoon in. Will he be able to get it? Will he eat him? No, he's just gone in a little bit too early. He's still alive, though. He will not die, and in the end, Tectonic back away. They win the fight. Tilting goes in. Tally's actually here, so 5v4, and have they split too much? One member dead means they can potentially just turn around onto Paprise, try and stun up that Braum passive. They get it. Eats oranges in K, but the flash forward. Spooks arrives, and that will be a double kill for the mid laner of Order. So Order is on the Nexus, and Order is looking to pick up their first 2-0 of the season. It wasn't easy in the end. Tectonic made them work for it, but they do pick it up.